There we go.
Yeah, we're recording.
Evening, Evening, Mike.
Greetings, world.
And greetings, world, and greetings, Seventh Spot. Actually, this is an impromptu. I mean, John, you just mentioned to me that you inherited something from your dad.
Yeah, my dad was always into railways, model railways.
Yeah.
He built a full layout. He got a big, when we lived in Walton-on-Thames, got a massive double garage layout. And one side of it was dedicated to a model railway layout, 00 gauge. But he built all these little switches into it which switched the points. He got a little track layout. It's very, very cleverly done. I mean, we used to get to play with it, but we didn't wreck it or stuff like that. But I've still got, when my late father passed away, I've still got some of his old trains, the Flying Scotsman. I've got the full kit on that, and a lot of old railway buildings like platforms and gatehouses and stations and stuff like that. So I've still got those that he built all himself. So yeah, they're still in my garage. I won't be getting rid of those anytime soon. But
this is where I jumped into the conversation because I said, I know somebody who's doing kind of the same thing. And I said, I'm going to contact Mike Rupp.
Yeah.
Because Mike sent me some pictures of a thing that he's going to be building into his garden. Tell us about that.
What are you up to, Mike, with that?
I don't know. I just had an idea. I mean, I like trains. I always like trains. I mean, we never grow up. You can see that on the cars. And just before Christmas, I got on eBay a train set, a LGB. The German G-scale garden railway thingy.
Yeah.
And because I don't have space in the house, my wife would just kill me. Okay, let's put it in the garden. That's all right.
What scale is that? Is that bigger than 00 gauge?
G gauge, the
G gauge. Oh, G gauge. Yeah, big. Yeah, bigger, a lot bigger.
Well, this match that I was trying to put together for you, Mike and John, it's for Scheisse.
Oh my God! You better
not only that. John tells me it's made out of balsa and card. So yours is an outdoor garden railway, and it's going to last about 3 days.
Yeah, it would go. Yeah. Both balsa wooden card building. A lot of them are hand built by him, by the way, as well. From plans and stuff like that. That would not fare well in the English climate in a garden.
Yeah. Well, it's just an interesting opportunity to bring in this new topic that we're going to be bringing into a future show, like hobbies for seven heads, basically, because, we were talking, John and I were talking off air about these dioramas. I guess you can call them that, right? I think that's the proper word for it, because I know that, one thing that intrigues me or did intrigue me as an adolescent was slot cars. I don't know how do you feel about slot cars, Mike?
What cars?
Slot Electrics.
This thing. Carrera-Bahn. Yeah. No.
Yeah.
Well, I had one as well back in the days. It's cool as well. The problem is that I can't build a Nürburgring in my garden.
Yeah.
Or in my living room.
But there's another thing that's making a comeback, right? Because there's people that are interested in what is, now an antique hobby.
But now, I've scale electrics as a young boy, and I must have been 8 or 9. Absolutely loved it. I went back up to years later. I must have been about 2024. I went back up to Cumbria, and we had a couple of beers one Christmas. I said, let's get the scale electrics out. And me and my brother, it was a big old outbuilding and barns, and we searched everywhere for this scale electric. We couldn't find it.
Yeah.
Anyway, we got up the following day. I said to my dad, Dad, we can't find the scale electrics. And he'd left us searching for like 3 hours to try and find this thing. And he actually admitted the following day, he said, actually, I gave it away to a guy in the village. And I thought, I was fuming because he'd left us for 3 hours trying to search for this thing which no longer existed. But then I thought, that's probably made that guy's Christmas, because it worked from a particularly affluent family, but he'd given it away at Christmas time, said, here you go, have all my scale electric stuff. So I thought, no, that's fair enough, Dad. But next time, tell us if we need to stop searching in the barn for stuff that you've already given away. Yeah. But and then years later, actually, with my 2 boys, I actually bought the digital version of scale electric, where you press the button, it changes lanes. Have you seen those?
I have no idea about that stuff at all, John.
No, you got your. Well, normally they run on tracks, and you've got 2 tracks, and that's it.
Yeah.
With this one, at a certain point, you press the button, and it actually.
They switch lanes. No,
They-
I know they cross over. I do know about that. Yeah. No, and with regard to the slot cars, they were how old at that particular point? 20 years.
Probably, yeah. I've got some.
Don't you know that the rubber would be so hard? You couldn't keep them on the track.
We used to. Yeah. Well, there's different ways you can. There's different ways. I wouldn't say tune. It probably was a little bit of car tuning, but the way we used to get more grip was put magnets on the bottom.
Oh, that's the old.
That's the old school. Yeah, but if you wanted,
the scrutineers would disqualify you, John.
Well, exactly. But if you wanted to do a burnout, what we used to do is put sellotape on them and a bit of oil on them.
Oh yeah,
and a bit of oil on the rears. So when you did the burnout, it would be spinning madly, and you get a little puff of smoke out of them.
Yeah.
So the amount of stuff that we just used to muck about. We had like fastest down the straight, who could come off best at a corner.
Yeah.
And hitting the most things. Oh, brilliant! I've still got the kit now. I've still got our digital set now, and I've got the Caterham 7 as well. Some of them are digital, some aren't.
Mine is still in the box. I I've gotten terrible with giving, and I'm really good at giving gifts, but receiving them, I'm lousy at it. I've got the Caterham 7 jigsaw, the Lego block thing, and I have not put it together. I managed to ruin its value though, because I took the cellophane off.
Got a Caterham as well. I concede.
Yeah. Oh, that's too cool. Yeah, that was an interesting visual experiment. You just put your camera up in front of the screen, and everything behind it just visually disappeared. But that's cool. Anyways, getting down to the hobbies, I know that one of the things I'm going to do is, John and I went down another rabbit hole off air talking about these dioramas, and it occurred to me that with regard to the slot cars, there's a guy, Pinky Hanna is his name, in Australia, and he's actually making he's made a business out of making the 3D printed stations, gas stations, garages for his cars and all that kind of stuff, all that kids stuff that adults who have got more money, less time left in their sandile of life, I want to play with.
Some of these dioramas, though, when they're done properly, they fetch some decent money as well, and you can see the time and love and effort that's gone into them.
Well, I'm going to bring him into a show. It'd be hard to bring him in as spontaneously as we drew Mike in, but because he's actually in the middle of his day wherever he is in Australia. But having said that, I do want to do something with him on that, because he and his partner also have those plastic body kits for sevens, and that's an interesting story too.
Yeah. Excellent.
But this is my, I guess, other way of talking to Mike about what we are doing in the magazine too, because Mike, aside from being a car builder and a machinist, you're also a foodie.
Yeah.
Yes.
As you can see.
Well, that's I've been doing so well over the holiday period, and now I have to repent and be I have to be good. But
Mike, when you're ordering food, how are your language skills? Because you're German. Is you German?
Yes, I am German. Yeah.
You're German. So if you went into a Chinese, for instance, and ordered a Chinese, what would you do? How would you order it?
I usually try it in English, obviously. My Chinese is non-existent.
Yeah. I can speak in Cantonese, but I can't read either traditional or modern Chinese script at all. Although I do have a Chinese dictionary, and I've managed to memorize all of the words that have one step. It's a
okay.
Know how many words there are in the Chinese dictionary that have one step?
No.
One.
I know.
And the letter means One.
Well,
So that's about what I've got.
At least that's one thing you've learned. I know in our local Chinese, when I order stuff, I mean, the person that runs it has got great English, but some of the people in there haven't. So I don't know any Chinese at all. My language skills are non-existent. I mean, people describe me as a bilingual idiot because I can't read or write in two different languages. But yeah, when I order at my local Chinese, and I know they don't really understand it, I just order. I say I'll have a number 12, number 15, and a number 22.
Yeah.
And we go from there. Basically, I just point at the menu. Yeah.
You guys are such rookies. I'm so good. But Mike, being that we've got you doing a segment for, I guess a show, but it's good for the magazine segment. You have a fast food segment that we're introducing.
I'm looking forward to that. Yeah.
I'm looking forward to it because we're looking at the scene from your background. You're also building a 7, and that's an interesting part. And you're a machinist, and that's an interesting part. But you are also you have a past career in the food industry, so you're also a foodie, or shall we say, a chef?
You can say that.
Yeah, but I'm just, without giving the first story away, I know that you like to travel as well, and recently you've been to Spain, so that's about as much as I'm going to say on that.
That whole thing with traveling started with my wife, and that just is another add-on.
Yeah, and there's some. I just find it interesting too because we've got friends in Spain. One of the administrators of the group, Tony McMahon, is in the Gibraltar area, which is certainly a certain distance away from the place that you're going to take us to, because we're not going to say it. You're going to have to tune in and watch that, guys.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But it's going to feature some of the food of that area. Is that right?
Well, more or less. I mean, there's one dish which is more popular over there, but I would say, particularly when it comes to rice dishes, there's so many varieties in Spain. It's not only the typical paella where you put your fish in, etc.
Sure, I was going to say paella is the only thing I know over there. Well, paella.
Yeah, there's so much more to it.
Yeah.
And San Miguel paella. That's been sorted.
That's all you need to know. So I'm looking forward to that, Mike. That's great. Thank you for doing that with us. That's going to be great.
You're welcome.
And by the way, as soon as we do this recording and something by way of promo to it, I'm going to send it to your YouTube channel so that you can promote it there. Because as I said, all the stuff that we do at 7 Spot and 7 Spot Live, our magazine now, all of the directions in the links go back to our show hosts, and that's you.
Yes.
Yeah. So das ist fantastisch.
Oh my God!
Yeah.
No idea what you said there, Jim.
That's fantastic.
Yeah. And that's about all I've got in Auf Deutsch today. Yes.
No, you can speak much more. Sometimes a little bit gibberish, but fair enough.
I always ask. I remember the first time I did an interview with a fellow in Germany. I couldn't pronounce his name because I couldn't interpret it properly, and I had to say, "Wie sagt man das auf Deutsch, bitte?" So he was kind enough to say, "Oh," and then he gave the name. So there you go. And then we carried it on in English, so that I can understand a little bit.
Good.
Yeah. So that's all. With you, Mike, I'm looking forward to doing that. And I don't know, I guess you've just come back and you haven't had the opportunity to get into the shed on your low cost just yet.
No, actually tomorrow I will pop in and meet my garage buddy Adam to make a plan, because he's also planning to race this year in his Formula V again.
Yes, you told me that. Yeah.
Formula V, yeah? Not the that's not the 750cc.
No, he said he's pronounced it properly. It's a Formula V.
Formula V.
Yeah.
Like
or
VW.
Foul for you, us British. So, and anyways, along that line, I wanted to have a quick conversation about your car because you explained what the registration process that you're looking to. Because I mentioned to you that it would probably be easier. The easiest fix for your low cost would probably be to put in a MX5 rear subframe, just weld it in, and then just build it from there. But you told me that would cause you all kinds of problems for registration. Tell us what your plans are.
Yes, so to my knowledge, if I use a certain amount of parts from a donor vehicle, and I got a V5 from a Cortina as well, I might be able to get it an age-related plate
Right,
instead of a
non-Q.
Q plate.
Yeah, non-Q plate, yeah.
Yeah, which I'm hoping that will give me green light to get a car ULEZ exempt because I'm living in the ULEZ zone. My garage is not in the ULEZ zone, but I'm planning to use it as a daily driver. So hopefully that will work out. When it comes to the right time, what I want to do is I want to get in touch with MK Sports Cars. I'm pretty sure they're quite good in helping out with those things.
Very, very receptive. Yeah, just speak to Sean O'Neill and anybody. Just give them a call. They are super, super helpful.
Yeah. I already bought some parts from them. Yeah, I know them a little bit.
I'm biased because I own MK, and whenever I've dealt with them, they've been absolutely brilliant. So I am biased.
Yeah.
But, I love all the kit cars out there, but yeah, I own an MK.
Okay. Have you been there actually? Visit their factory?
I've never been to them, but I've met them at all the shows, and we've done several interviews with Sean and Neil as well.
Yeah, you're located more up to the north, John, right?
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, it's a bit
far. Great bunch of people though. Great bunch of and always very helpful over the phone. Any queries?
They're in Essex, aren't they?
Yeah, down in Essex, not far from AK Sports Cars and DJC Sports Cars.
Yeah,
they're down in Essex. So it might not be too far for you from you're down London
depending
way.
on what is too far, is still all the way around the M25 and then up towards Stansted. So still a little bit. I would say, I guess a 2 hours drive minimum.
Das ist verrückt.
Yeah, you're probably looking at a day out. Yeah. But do have a chat with them. Always very helpful, as I say.
That's what I'm thinking to do in the right time. Obviously, at the moment it's too early to start something. When the car is basically assembled, and then I think I go to one of these coffee mornings.
So with regard to the rear assembly that you've got now, Mike, is it going to work out all right, or do you have to take it apart again and then do a rebuild? Because you're having some difficulty with your trailing arm, wasn't it?
The problem is you never know what you face at this moment.
Yeah.
I haven't touched the car for the last couple of months because of family problems. Winter came and I was a little bit disheartened. I'm still working on the engine mounts. Perhaps I just buy them, to be honest. If it's I don't know why. I had several attempts. It turned out not how I wanted it, and I will give one more attempt after that. I will just try to buy some. That's it.
Otherwise, who was it? I've got a friend in Victoria, and his build took the better part of almost 20 years. So we don't want that to.
Look, guys, the thing is that I'm not enjoying it that much as I used to do years ago. I want to finish that thing. I want to drive that thing.
Yeah.
That's the aim.
Yeah. And that's why I if you can investigate for your own purposes, whether, having an MX5, a full rear subframe with the trailer, with all of the components there just welded in, and you can still make it legal. My advice would be just
yes, but well, as I said, I got already rear axle. I got the parts here. MX5 parts in UK, they're getting more expensive because they're very sought after. So I don't see a point where I should go backwards. I got the parts here now.
As long as you can make it work so that you don't have to tear it apart 3/4 of the way into it.
With the rear axle, I'm finished. Yeah, that's literally just clean everything up and put in. Rear axle is finished. That fits.
Okay, well then I'm happy. I'm very happy.
That's
for
done.
you. Yeah.
Brilliant
Yeah, at
news.
the moment I'm fighting with the engine and gearbox mount.
Oh yeah,
and the
is
right
it just space? Space for the for your pedal box and the exhaust and issues like that.
That might be the next thing, particularly at pedal box. When I'm sitting in the car.
Mm-hmm.
At the moment when I
How
was
tall are you,
sitting,
Mike?
well, put a little bit of wood underneath and was sitting in the car. I was thinking about a lowered seat.
Yeah.
But last time when I was sitting in the car, I thought, no, let's keep the floor normal. Now I got now a pair of seats, but I still need to simulate the floor or something to see how it goes. I still haven't welded the mount in for where the steering column goes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's still open. That was one of the next thing after I finished the front off, going then to the middle back again. Do that. I mean, I got all
take
the
a
raw
look at the
material here.
Avon Rescue series and how Chris Hollier made his seats. I mean, they're custom and they're made out of
Just
flooring foam
Yeah.
for backing for your carpets, and it's dead easy to do, and you can put it in at floor floor
Yeah,
level, and it's formed to your body. It's wonderful.
If you don't like it, just cut a bit more away or just redo it.
Yeah.
It's so cheap and simple to make.
And I was shocked how quickly he did it, because
it was less than an hour, I think. About an hour and a half.
I bought some seats on eBay. I got some seats from a excuse me, what is it? Robin Hood. Got them for £35. They look okay. Need some cleanup.
How tall are you, Mike?
Sorry?
How tall are you?
1.83 m, which is in your language 6 foot, I don't know, something.
Yeah, well, that's what I was mentioning about the pedal box and so on. You could have some difficulty, kind of the same issues that Chris ran into.
You want your seats as far back as you possibly can.
You better watch the Avon Rescue series to find out.
I was thinking to put a seat as far back as I can and literally mount it into the car. I don't use any seat rails because I was thinking anyway, the seat has to be as far back as possible.
And that's what
Chris has done.
Chris is 6'2", and he ran into the same situation. He was doing it with an Avon, which is really, really a tight space anyway. He solved his problem by actually moving the pedal box forward because he has the skill to do that. And then he also built this seat. It's literally at floor level, so it solves the problem with him not having to look over his visor, which you would be doing too. Especially in a Robin Hood seat when you're sitting up like this. So
Chris won't mind me saying he's a larger gentleman. Not only is he tall, he's quite a larger gentleman. He's got size.
I think he might be a foodie. He's a secret foodie, I think.
He's got size 11 feet. I think he said.
Yeah.
No, my feet. Actually, my feet are tiny compared to the rest of my body.
I
got shoe size, 42, which is shoe size 8.
Yeah.
Oh, that is tiny. That is tiny.
It is.
Size 9.5, 10.
Yeah, I've got duck feet. It's not the issue of length. I'm a size 10.5, which is kind of a fairly normal sort of a size by North American sizing. But in my width of my feet, that's a struggle to sometimes. If I wear the wrong shoes, I can't drive the 7.
No, I wear karting boots when I go out in hours. The first day we bought it, because that hours was bought, it wasn't built.
Yeah.
I thought, my sons were here, and I thought, right, we're going out in it. And I was wearing a pair of Dr. Martin boots, right? And I've got size 10 feet. Yeah. So I went out with there, and I was all over the place, to be honest. So I came back and changed into a pair of trainers, which did help. The MK foot space, by the way, is pretty decent. Depends which engine you go for. The round tube or the MX-5, the tunnel's a little bit wider.
Well, but for us, it's not an issue, simply because we got the bike engines. The only thing that's in that portion of the tunnel that would have the transmission is just the bike torque tube. So what I did in mine is I did some bashing away at the aluminium to create a little bit of extra space for my what is my clutch, foot.
Your
So
clutch
there you
pedal.
go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Mike, do have a look at what Chris Holly has done. Size 11 feet. He actually lengthened the front section of the footwell, which you've got to know what you're doing. I mean, you clearly know what you're doing. Anybody watching this, do not do that unless you know what you're doing. But then he widened the tunnel, as you say, Jim, by bashing it in, and the seats he fitted were just foam backed bit of wood, basically.
Yeah, that's how
really,
my seats
really,
are.
really
It's
smart.
basically a bit of wood, some foam and leather, fake leather
Yeah.
over it.
Yeah, well, that's what he's doing too. Exactly. Yeah, we'll have to get the two of you together, and you guys have a jolly great conversation. But guys, this was 25 minutes, and I just wanted to talk to you about food and your model railway, and here we go, talking about cars. It's to happen.
Yes.
So, Mike, thanks very much. I'm looking forward to working with you on the magazine. I'll send you this video. And do you want me to do a quick edit on it, or do you want to do the editing yourself? Are you in it?
Well, to be honest with you, I possibly won't put this video on my YouTube channel because I think there's nothing to add at the moment. My channel should be more like a builds.
Well,
upgrade.
you know what? You can always use it for promoting your food, your food
section.
section. So. I'm going to send it to you anyway, and you can use it if you want.
It's fine.
Yeah, use it or not, but I know Jim will do a quick edit, and we'll go from there.
Yeah, we'll take out the swearing parts.
Yeah, especially the German bits, because I didn't.
Well, yeah, especially the swearing bits that I said. Although I think technically, I don't know if that's really all that bad of a word. I mean, from YouTube. I could get somebody wagging their finger at me, but when you say shiza, everybody says shiza.
Yeah, that's not bad. No, that's not bad. There are much worse words. If you want to talk to me in private, I can teach you really bad. Don't worry.
I'll do that in another video. I'll leave it at that. Okay, guys.
We won't record it. Great to hear from you, Mike, and great you could drop in at such late
and
notice.
I'm so glad that
great to meet you again, Johnny.
Yeah, no worries.
Merry
Christmas.
Have a good
Happy
one,
New
guys.
Year.
All right.
Happy New Year as well, Mike.
Happy New Year, guys.
Bye.
Yeah.
Bye.